I'd like you to state your name, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I look at you,
You can.
Mm-hmm.
Walter Clyde Robertson, Robertson.
Okay, and I guess my start will be, where did you grow up, and where were you raised?
Born April 23rd, 1918, 217 Victoria Street in Merchantville, New Jersey. Went to school at Merchantville up to the 10th grade. Situation changed with my mother and father. My father got sick. He worked at Piers in Philly. He was superintendent. He got hurt, and then he was out of work, and they didn't have unemployment benefits at that time. And I got a full-time job at Philly Fruit, Park Avenue and Center Street in Merchantville. Joe Brown, he lived in Collingswood. He was the owner. Joe Wine was the manager, and I learned a lot from Joe Brown. He bought an life insurance policy on me, and he helped out.
So you dropped out of high school in 10th grade and went to work.
I finished the 10th, yeah.
So when did you decide to go into the military, or how did it occur that you went into the military?
I was working for a wholesale candy outfit in Camden, and when this war started, there was no sugar going to be allowed for the candy makers, and I went. My brother and sister-in-law had trucks that were hauling coal out in the mines in Pennsylvania, hard coal. Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre, East Bear Ridge. That was a job, and I registered for the draft in Merchantville.
Do you remember what year that was, or was that right at the beginning of the war?
41. I guess we signed up right away. I don't remember what date we had to sign up for.
Well, the war started in December of 41.
Yeah. I was home, had the radio on.
So I went and signed
hell
up.
broke loose. And then my brother had two other drivers, hauled coal. My sister-in-law thought she was smart, tried to keep John Delozier out of the service. And the draft board met at Rice and Holman's Ford dealership on Maple Avenue, across from Union Avenue, and I think that was Pennsauken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the draft board did not listen, and they drafted John, and he went in the Army. And then my turn came up, and she tried to do the same thing. The draft board did not listen, and I went in the Army.
And this was at the end of 41.
Yeah.
So you remember where you went? You then went to basic training.
Oh yeah. And
Do you remember where you went?
yes, we the council, Merchantville, talked to us. My sister was there. My mother and my wife were there. My mother-in-law was watching my daughter, who was 5. And I got on the bus. They took us to Fort Dix. I met a kid from Woodland, Ed Vickery. His father was chief of police in Woodland, and he could play the banjo or the guitar. And we found out after we got to Fort Dix and started in our huts, and was told 12 men. I was acting corporal, so anything that went wrong, the corporal would come down and talk to me.
So you did your basic in Fort Dix.
No, Fort landing in Florida, about 50 miles from Jacksonville. Hot. We went down there in May. Took 17 weeks of training, finished in September, August. Sent home for 10 days, leave. And we boarded back to Fort George Meade and went through the chow line. And the sergeant dishing out the food says, "How do you want your eggs?" And I looked at him like he was nuts, because in basic training we got powdered eggs and stewed chicken on Sundays. And if you got in the chow line on Sunday and the chicken was still there, you didn't get in the beginning of the line. If the chicken was still in that pot, you knew it was bad. If it was low, then you could eat that stewed chicken. And in basic training, we had a Sergeant Sweeney, a big Irishman, and he read the book to us most of the time. We had one 17-week training. We had to go out and dig foxholes on this project one morning. Well, the cooks overslept, and we had a sergeant who had been in the Aleutians fighting the Japs, and the Japs had left before they got there. I guess they were shooting one another, and that was 10th Mountain, Division 2. And Sergeant Lowe here, very good vocabulary, and cooks overslept.
He was your sergeant in boot camp?
Yeah, and we went out, and Sergeant Lowe here says, no food, no work. So we sat on our butts, smoked our cigarettes, and had chats with him because he had been in combat. And Captain Berringer, he was from North Jersey. His people owned a scrapyard up there, and he was only a little short captain. And then we had Lieutenant Oliver, who was about 6'3". He was from Hatboro. And they came out, and we were sitting there, and Captain wanted to know what was going on. And Lowe here gave him a few choice words and told him no food, no work. Captain said, okay. And Lieutenant Oliver got upset because you were scheduled for the 17 weeks of training. And if you missed, it was a setback. The captain, he stepped in, he said, I don't care, we're going to take it easy today. And these men will find out if they need a foxhole, they'll dig one to save the department. And he was right.
So after 17 weeks,
Come home for 10 days.
And then what? Did you ship overseas?
Went back to Fort Meade, got our breakfast, and then went to probably Norfolk. They didn't tell us what port we went out of, but it was on a Kaiser Liberty ship. Kaiser built Liberty ships fast and moved us out. We were overloaded, slept on the deck, and Reds from Syracuse, he could go down and eat, come up and sit alongside. I could have wrecked after his head in a headlock because I couldn't eat. Then
Why? Because you were sick?
Yeah, you might have sick. Then we went down one morning, and the first thing in the line was hot dogs, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I went back up, and Reg come up with a tray. And there was a kid from Brooklyn. He said, Robbie, get a bottle of Coke and some crackers. He said, that'll settle you. And I did that, and I was settled after that. But I did a lot of chumming on the deck before that, and I wasn't alone.
Not bad.
And we landed in North Africa for 2 nights.